Hello and welcome to Juras6x's world. My name's Juras6x and this is my world. Hope you enjoyed the last episode of us building an iron farm. I'm definitely enjoying having some iron in my world again, and we are doing really well in iron. We have so much, it's fantastic. Did a bit of AFKing and now we can build or finish our silo here. So today is going to be a bit of a finishing off episode. Got quite a few outstanding jobs that we need to get done. So I've kind of built two list boards here. So on this one is kind of jobs that I'd like to do in the next few sort of 10 or so episodes. We'll see how far we get with those. And then over here we have today's episode to-do list. So let's take a look at them. So like I said, we can finish our grain silo. We have enough iron now to take it all the way up to the top, I hope. We will find out very shortly. We also need to finish or build an XP farm. At the moment we have a janky zombie farm somewhere down there. Just want to turn that into more of a useful farm rather than a very slow and painful process, and get rid of the zombie flesh. We want a mending librarian. Is this a word? This is not a word. But I've got lots of villagers, so we'll find a mending librarian in there. At the moment our villagers are over here. I want to move them out the way so that we can turn those farms into just farms, and then we'll probably have a villager breeder up there. We'll repopulate our farms. We had a couple of raids and unfortunately some farmers didn't make it. And last but not least, I'd like to do the iron farm item sorter, so get rid of the poppies and just have the iron coming into our system. So I think that's quite a nice start for today's episode, so let's get on with the episode. So after a day of AFKing, we have this amount of iron and more. I think to finish off our silo, we will need about 10 stacks of blocks. So let's see how far I was off with my measurements. Obviously we've got a few in here already, but let's see how many we get through and run a quick time lapse. The grain silo, finally got it all clad in iron blocks, a nice cheap block for us. So here it is. I think what I want to do at some point is to add in a couple bits of quartz just to sort of break up this, but I'm using vanilla tweaks, zoom avoids data packs to do the connected textures. And in terms of iron blocks, we used just over 5 stacks, so actually nowhere near as bad as I thought it would be. So as you can see, we've got our ladder up and sort of like a piping to pipe grain into the top of the grain silo, and also provided myself an access hatch up here. So we've got nice easy way to get in, just see what's going on. So we can see here we've got our sugarcane farm with our observers. Not very efficient, but I mean we're not using that much sugarcane at the moment. and then we've got our cactus farm underneath here with our pumpkins and melons coming from the top of our barn through this little water slide, I guess we'd call it, and then that's being collected by the hoppers, which are going down below. So this seems to be working out pretty well, other than being able to get out. Put carpets on top of the full blocks up here. Still got a room up there to fill in and to be able to use, but yeah, really happy with how this has turned out. And we've also done a bit of landscaping, so made it a bit more interesting back here with the pathways. We can get in here, and we do have item sorter, which seems to be working quite well. I've been using this quite often for our trader, but yeah, it's going really well. So I think we can officially say that our grain silo is ticked off. So let's get our head down for just a sec, and then we can go on to the next task. Right, done. 1 down, 5 more to go. So next will be the XP farm. So I'm going to move my chess monsters, as Scar likes to call them, down into the XP farm, and we can start working on that. So we're just coming down into my mine from my house on the surface. Got my little depository of stone and mining materials and furnaces, and this is where I'm sort of doing my mining. So we've got 3 high and then a gap of 3, and that goes down for a few blocks, not too far. But one of the first things I found was our zombie spawner, which is just here, so literally nowhere from our depository, and we've dug out the spawner, so we've got the maximum space that they can spawn in. So this kind of, if I need a bit of XP just to top up before enchanting, I can come here, but now it's just not doing enough. So what I'd like to do is to dig this out a bit more and turn this into a proper zombie XP farm. We can get rid of the zombie flesh, and then anything else we'll be able to sort and smelt or whatever we need to do with it. So going to crack on with this now. Probably first job will be to dig out underneath. So we've got plenty of height on top. We'll put blocks all the way up so the zombies can't spawn on top of the spawner, and then we'll have water running in the directions that we need to, maybe this way, and then we can just move this slightly closer to our main area down here. So let's crack on with that, and we'll be right back in a moment. And there we go, we've dug out our chamber. Probably going to get some stone bricks and just coat the whole of the inside in the stone bricks. Don't know why, just makes me feel happy to know that it is fully encased in stone bricks. So I'm gonna jump ahead and we'll come back to you once we've starting to get to the point where we can add water streams in to pull the zombies towards where we want them to go. So we now have our farm completely stone bricked out. Probably had it a bit higher than necessary, probably only need I think 2 or 3 maximum above the spawner, and then got the space down here down to 4. So this is a design based off of Il Mango. So what we want to do is put Wow, that was quick. Right, let's get a torch up there. Let's do the same up there. You want to put sort of a triangle shape in these corners, so a bit like that, or exactly like that. And then where your center line is, so here, take out this block, and this block, and then those two as well. Just for me, I'm gonna put in my stone bricks, and then we can put in the water to carry the zombies into the water channel to take them up ready for dropping. And the reason we do that is it just takes away enough of their health that it's either a one hit or with a sword or without a sword quite often. So once we get a sword with looting, then we'll have an even better chance of getting additional goodies from the zombies, because there's not much. The other thing, just put a half slab there, and then it can go into a full block. So if let's just make sure we torch the place up above where the water line will be. Hopefully, oh no, want those ones. Hopefully the water, yep, we don't have anything there, and then we can drop one water bucket there and one water bucket there, and then so need to do this afterwards. Let's rerun those. There we go. Just the way that water mechanics work, it failed. Oh no, didn't do it again. So this one's come to the edge where we want it to. Pull it in again, and now this one, yes, there we go. So let's do those 4, 5, 6, and 7, and now you've got sort of a plus side. So let's just block that off, and then that is our water for this farm. So once we remove the torches, all the zombies will just drop down into the water, come over here where this stone brick is now. They'll go into a water stream and be taken out. So I'm going to get cracking on that, and we'll be back very shortly with this next bit going in. So now we've got this sort of channel stone bricked out. Oh, let's do that bit. I'm gonna just take it, so we've got 1, 2, 3 more blocks. Gonna put a pressure plate here that stops any mob spawning, and the water will now run up to here, and then down here we're going to put a piece of soul sand. I've put it down a block, just going to go down an extra block, should I say, so it's not the one that the zombies are coming straight onto. Oops. It is oh dear, it is the one below where the water would come in. So I'm not sure if this applies for zombies, but I'm hoping, because the water source isn't starting at their feet, it's starting a bit lower, it will catch anything and just take it up without any issues. From this point we want to go up, well, from here where we'll be standing on this level, we want to go up 25 blocks, so that's 25, so 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna get on that, and then we'll be back once again putting in the water stream or the water elevator and dropper for our zombie spawner. Right, so we have our water stream coming into our elevator chamber with the pressure plate and a sign just to hold back the water in respective areas. And then we've got our stone brick elevator, which goes up 26 blocks from, or 25 from this point. I've done that on purpose. This is slightly lower than where we'll be standing, so you need to just make sure that they're falling 24 blocks. So wherever you want, but make sure 25 from the top of that hopper. So what we can do now is start to fill up our water stream here. This should, yeah, there we go, straight away should be, oh, we've missed one, maybe there, yeah, and then we can just fill this up. Oh, miss one again, and there you go. You know, because as soon as you put in the block, you'll start to float to the top. So gonna do that. I've got a bit further to go, and once that's done, we'll come back and show you what's going on at the top. So once you get to the top of your water elevator, you just want a little flat section. Always put in a torch just in case. One of the things I would suggest, if you've got sea kelp, plant it at the bottom. Fill this with water from this top block. That will run down, and by planting the sea kelp and growing it to the max height, that will turn all of these into water source blocks. So when you break the sea kelp, these will be water source blocks, and then you can just put the soul sand at the bottom. Unfortunately, didn't have any sea kelp, so we had to do it the harder way, and just adding in water sources all the way up. And then once you get here, put in an extra one at the top here. That's going to force you over, or force the zombies over, and then you'll drop all the way to the bottom. So this, the water elevator part is pretty much built. Just need to, I noticed as we dropped, there was a missing block just up here, right there. So gonna jump in and replace that. Yep, so we'll get the killing chamber in place, ready for us to take down some evil zombies. And there's that one done. Do this slowly so we don't fall all the way to the bottom in one hit. So once you've got your water elevator done and the water's running across the top and you've got your torch, what you want to do is then get your slabs. So I'm going to put a slab there, so we're at feet level, and then put one a full block there, and that will stop any baby zombies being able to reach, run out and get away, but it will also allow us to get their feet without any hassle. And then messed it up, we'll put a stone brick stair just there, just so that we can still access the chest, and we can also put that there, and then that just gives us extra protection. So now we're in a place where we can just open up the side here. Just going to go in and remove the torches. So once we do that, the zombies will start spawning and they'll start falling down. So let's give it a shot. It's a bit harder without my depth strider shoes that unfortunately broke from me not paying enough attention. And there's the zombie. We do not want to go in there. Oh, straight in. Fantastic. So get that one, and get that one. Oh, and then he should hopefully push. Come on. Oh. Maybe I should get rid of my torch. Oh, there we go. Dynamic lighting. Right, there we go. Are they going in? There we go. So we should start to see some zombies. Yep, there we go. We can hear the zombies falling. fingers crossed we've done this all correct. Yes! So there we go. Let's turn down hostile creatures because it is quite noisy. Right, so let's start whacking. Ah, it's a beautiful sound. Beautiful sound. Even brought me some torches and bricks. So there we go. That's our farm done. We can say we've successfully put in our XP farm. Gonna probably turn this little area into a bit of a enchantment and area where I can just if I'm just mining, I can come down, grab some stuff. Right, I need an extra pickaxe because this one's broken or not mending or whatever it may be. So this will be perfect for our little area, and it does also mean that we can now grind some XP out. So that's another one off the board for today. So I've done a little bit of work on our item sorter. So what we have now is a hopper going into a hopper line from underneath our single slab. That comes over to a item sorter, which is just taking out all the rotten flesh. Really don't need that, like we've got enough already, and at the moment there's still no use for it. And then that is being filtered down here into this dropper that's facing into a magma block. So that's just destroying all of our there we go, that was a zombie dying from the fall, and another one. Doesn't happen often, but has now. So that will destroy all of our rotten flesh, so we'll just be getting the goodies, which really has been that so far. And as you can see, we also got some diamonds, or found some diamonds whilst we were digging down here. So let's just tuck into those, see what we've got. How much did that give us? So 10 diamonds, and that was completely by luck. We've found those as we were doing our item sorter and filter, so can be very happy that we sort of put in the extra filter. Well worth it in my eyes now, especially, and it just saves us having to manually get rid of any of our flesh or anything like that. So again, for me, that's a win. So gonna close this all up. Hopefully we shouldn't need to pop in here anymore. We can just make this top half look a little bit more appealing, and we are seeing quite excuse me, quite a good amount of zombies falling down here, just being sort of taking care of them every now and then collecting the XP. So I would say this is pretty much there. I don't think there's any point putting any more filters or anything like that. We can just check what we're getting here and go from there. So this is ready to be made pretty, but that's a job for another day. I think we're gonna clear up our chest monsters yet again for this episode, and then move on to the next task on our to-do board. And we just got some shoes, yay! And these can be smelted up in our probably in our blast furnace. Yep, pretty quick. And then we can just get some little nuggets as well, which will be handy for the future. So we've finished our XP farm. Going to now start on the next task, which is a mending librarian. Move villagers and repopulate farms with villagers. So I think we can do that all in one hit. So for me, the plan is we take our villagers to this hill over here, and we make a small basic internal villager trading center. Whilst doing that, we can also repopulate the farms and also get our mending librarian up there. So what I think is the best thing to do is we'll build a little rail track all the way over here underneath everything and up into here. That way they'll sort of just, you know, we can just block off the ends of the tunnel rather than having to do anything else. So we can take that one off, and let's get cracking with building a little hall up here. Look at the sheer amount of villagers I've got down here. This is ridiculous. I've had to dig it out just to make it so that I can see what I'm doing. So got the rail line in, that's going to go up. We don't have any baby villagers because these zombies got at villagers in the farm, so they haven't been breeding for a while, thankfully. We do have one on the loose somewhere, so let's see if we can locate him. But we've also got one back in here in our carrot farm over there, so he seems quite happy. Right, let's see where we are. And I ended up going with a rail over everything. Oh, there he is. We can find him. Just in the end, just felt it would be easier, less digging to do. So let's get 30 winks, and we'll go and get this villager back into one of the farms. We have our villagers back in their farms now, so put in some extra protection with some iron golems. So both the potato and the carrot have one farmer and one iron golem, and then our big ginormous wheat farm has 3 golems in there. So there's one there, I think there's 2 just behind this tree here. There we go, one coming into view. So hopefully that should give them a bit more protection during the night, or if we get raided, which seems to be their unfortunate downfall. So that's that, and as you can see, we've got the rail in, so we'll get our villagers over to our little trading farm or trading hall. We have still got quite a few down here. Unfortunately, a few got their heads stuck in the wall, so maybe not doing as well as they'd hoped. But we'll get most of these over, and those that don't make it, we'll make sure that they have a quick end, because I would like to remove all villagers from underneath this, and then we just have our little hall up there. So gonna go and start looking at the villagers we've got over there, and starting to put in some of their workstations to get them into their profession. So we have all of our villagers in our trading hall / mountain, which is safely secure behind those dirt blocks. So I've got all of the workstations, or at least I think most of these are the sort of main ones. Not even sure if cauldron or brewing stand are used, so we'll be finding out, and this will be a bit of a learning experience. But we've got what, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and I think there's one more, so 21 on that side. Plus I've got a few more underneath where these dirt blocks are for when we get villager breeder back up and running. So let's start placing some of these workstations, and we can find out what skills we can get from these villagers, and also we can hopefully get that mending librarian, which we've been desperately needing. So gonna try and get this one as our mending, so it's right next to the door, so we know where it is, and then we'll see what else of interest comes up. So I did a load of recording and there was no audio, so I've lost a lot of what I had done, so instead I'm just going to talk you through what I've done. So we have here, this is at the iron farm, so we have the iron coming in through this hopper here, that's coming down this hopper line and into this item filter, which is filtering out the poppies. Those are being disposed of in a nice way on our magma block there, very similar to how we set up our zombie flesh earlier on in the episode. And then here we have our silent dropper elevator, so anything else that isn't poppies will go into this line, into the dropper elevator, and then that will be distributed into our chest here. So we're only getting iron now, so that's another good way for us to get rid of unnecessary items and stop it sort of filling up item sorter. This dropper elevator is by Tinker77, I believe, so I will put that in the description as well, so you get to see that. I'll put in Impulse SV's item sorter. So that's the iron farm. So I think next episode, biggest plan will be to sort this out, make it look like a windmill, as that was the plan last episode. So we've had a more of a technical episode this time. Everything seems to be working quite well. Let's see if we can got him. Sniped him. So everything seems to be working well. We had a bit of an issue with our cart system down here. I believe I've resolved that, so we should be starting to see, yeah, lots more wheat coming through. Again, I think we need to put in one of the item sorters just to get rid of the sheer amount of wheat that we're getting in. Probably set it up properly, so we'll have a couple of 3 or 4 chests with wheat, and then one just for seeds, because we really don't need that many. And everything seems to be working really well with our farms now. I just want to make some changes to how we collect the potatoes and carrots, and that will make it a little bit more efficient. So that's it for the item sorter for the iron farm. So our villager trading center is up and running. We have a good selection of librarians now. So we got looting 2, depth strider, acro affinity, fortune 3, infinity, mending for 14 emeralds, so that's good. Respiration, unbreaking 3, which is a bit of an expensive one. A very expensive sharpness 5, but I doubt we'll be buying too many books. Silk touch and efficiency still need protection, so behind some of these we have more villagers who we're trying to get the right trades. Not had any success with a protection 3, 4 or 5. Unfortunately, there's not been working for us. And then we've got 2 farmers over here, and we also have a cartographer. So we have a nice little setup in here which is now working, and I've got mending on a lot of my tools and weapons. Just need to sort out the armor now, so once that breaks we'll start focusing on that as we go. So we can happily say the farmer side of things is done. We have our mending. We've repopulated our farms with villagers, and we've also relocated all of our villagers over here. So that is a fantastic sign that we are moving in the right direction. So yeah, that's good to go. Onwards and upwards, I say. So I think that about wraps up the episode for today. So a bit of a longer one, but we have done a lot of things. As you may be able to tell, I've put some quartz in our wheat silo, or our grain silo in the background. I'm gonna think on that, see if I like it, maybe put a bit more in for the next episode. And in terms of the next episode, we can now remove that one, and let's put the next one. We will be building the windmill for our iron farm, so it looks a lot prettier than what it does now. So thank you very much for joining me. My name's Juras6x, and this is Juras6x World. Bye.